Welcome to a new video by Jade Wolf Marketing. I'm David, one of the co-founders of Jade Wolf. And in this little video, we're gonna show you some useful tips and tricks, hacks, how you can optimize your Google Ads suite and your Meta Ads suite towards getting actually luxury guests or luxury travelers for your business online for your website. A lot of clients usually come to us with, they already have Google Ads, they already have some paid social on Meta mostly, and that's in a lot of cases if they're like on the small or medium side, in terms of size. That's all they have usually, and that's where most of their digital new business is coming from. And often enough, they have worked with marketing agencies or in-house people in the past who didn't necessarily did all they could or did the best job at like optimizing for luxury, because most people can click together like a campaign in the modern ad suite pretty easily. But today I'm going to show you a couple of things that separate pros from the beginners, and I'm going to just start with going through a couple of things. This list is by no means exhaustive, but just implementing a couple of those can really help you set you up for success with your PPC advertising, right? For your lead generation or for your hotel direct bookings. Now, I'm going to demonstrate like the things that I am talking about on our own ad accounts, because I obviously cannot show client accounts. These ad accounts are a little bit like, we have several ad accounts as an agency, and these are the ones that are a little bit less used. So there's a little bit live data in there. But I can still show you the features that I would always look at if I get a new client account to review, to audit, and optimize. Now, starting with the Google Ads suite, obviously everybody knows Google Ads. You can do search ads, you can do YouTube ads, you can do display ads, you can do, if you're an e-commerce person, shopping ads, etc. Right? Now, mostly for hotels, I would always recommend running YouTube ads, search ads, and if they have a large database, remarketing ads like an email list, a customer list. It's the same for travel. All right. Now, some of the simple things, if you're running these type of campaigns, that you should always like look out for is the geo-targeting, right? So here you can see we have some geo-targeting, the United States, United Kingdom on this account, because we ran some ads there in the past. And ultimately, when you are targeting your luxury travel services, hospitality services for people, it should be even more distinct than that, right? It should be maybe potentially on the level of cities, postcodes, neighborhoods, right? Geographies where you know that the average resident is going to have a household income that is high enough to support your services and actually support your business and like be able to afford what you have to sell. So knowing how the wealthy population around the world moves and where they live and how they travel is really helpful, and then implementing that here in the location setting for your search, video, and display campaigns is can be a powerful factor in improving the quality of your traffic and your campaigns. Another area that I would always look at is audiences. Now, you can edit audiences for search, display, and video campaigns in different ways. One on the campaign level or ad group level. Let's just show up here. So you have two different settings: targeting, observation. If it's a remarketing campaign, I would always go for targeting to limit it to like your own data sources. But if it's just a general campaign that you're running, you want to keep it on observation to include some of these audiences. Now, some of the useful ones, obviously, that everybody knows and should use is luxury travelers, right? Let's remove those like B2B ones here. Dum, 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 dum. So luxury travelers should be a useful one. Another useful one is obviously 5-star hotels, right? And as you can see, there's affinity and in-market audiences. What that means in the Google Ad suite is like affinity audiences are people usually that browse topics and visit websites related to that particular thing, in that case, luxury travel. And in market is people who have shown buying research behavior. They maybe went through Google Business Reviews, they clicked on Google Business Pictures, they brought up businesses in Google Maps. They maybe have searched on an OTA or like on other kind of like websites for reviews, and Google registers these data signals and builds profiles in the back end on top of these people. Now, another thing that can always work is obviously working with a destination. So Italy, let's see if it has trips to Italy, for example, right? You can like come up with all kinds of, like destinations that fit your profile. A lot of them are available as in-market audiences. Um, if it's more different types of travel that you do, you can try looking into maybe things like adventure travel. Should be able to find that. Sometimes the search takes a while. Yes, trips to Latin America, trips to North America, trips to China, trips by destination. Here, okay, winter sports, snowbound, family vacations. Now, with these general like travel audiences, you need to be a bit careful because like they can include a lot of mass market people and things like that. But thrill seekers could be good if you're offering particularly adventurous experiences. Yeah, so this is a little bit, audiences segments. This is also something I would always use in my campaigns. Scarred. Then another thing that is very powerful that you can use is on the ad group level is editing demographics. Yes, now it's bringing it up. So usually I tend to exclude very young demographics or particularly old ones. People above 65, above 70, especially. For some travel businesses, they're not an interesting targeting anymore because these people are basically not traveling as much anymore due to health concerns, etc., or they will only travel national. In some cases, it can be lucrative because you're setting up a family trip or a family booking for like a luxury property or something like that. And then you should still include them. But I usually exclude the young people and the very old people. And I usually exclude the lower income segments as well. Meaning in the US, you are allowed via Google to target by household income. This is a very powerful feature that I hope they will not take away in the next couple of years. And depending on how expensive, your travel services are, or what kind of like, if you're renting out a luxury castle for a week, you might want to just go for the top 10% here. And you can look up, obviously, for the respective country that you're targeting, what these income brackets look like, right? But it will mostly be useful in the US. So this is another way of like targeting demographics. Obviously, we also want to like maybe have exclusions. And the exclusion that I always use is bargain hunters. Those are people that have shown, an interest in, discount codes and, they're like price comparison. And you don't really want to deal with these people in your luxury travel agency or in your luxury hotel if you're like selling mice for a wedding or whatever to them, food and beverage, catering, banquets, or something like that. Because these people will, even if it's about a large high ticket item in luxury travel, they will still negotiate hard. They will be difficult to deal with. They will always question the value that you're delivering. So I tend to exclude them all the time. So, okay, so we talked about location, geo-targeting, we talked about audiences that are available. And obviously, we cannot talk about in Google Ads about optimizing for luxury and affluent customers if we not talk about keywords, right? So, I mean, I'm not going to get into the basics of Google Ads search campaigns that you need to have proper keyword selection, different match types, and you need to group them correctly in ad groups and campaigns, and optimize the landing page experience so it fits the keyword and optimize the ad copy. But what a lot of people don't do religiously, which we do at Jade Wolf with our clients at least, is like to track negative keywords, right? Which are keywords that like your agency should not like, or your luxury agents, travel agency, or your luxury hotel shouldn't show up for in any circumstance. And you want to have these, and you want to check them regularly against the search term report, right? And in the search term report view in Google, you cannot necessarily see all the search terms anymore that you're getting in a month. So it's useful to download for a certain time range, and then you will have the full search term list available. Sometimes Google takes away more and more search terms from that report as well, but that's another topic. Overall, if you download that search term report once a month and you compare it against your negatives, and you add negatives and potentially the positives, like new keywords that you didn't have in your campaigns in your selection, that's a very good thing. Um, Another thing, basic thing that people tend not to do if they're running any kind of like dynamic campaigns is add exclusions for certain URLs. If you have a large website and you're using Google Ads to pull ad copy and pictures directly from your site, then in a dynamic search campaign or dynamic display campaign, then you need to also add exclusions on certain URLs like your privacy policy, your terms and conditions, things that basically shouldn't be turned into ads, right? A lot of people forget to do that as well. Um, then another thing which is really powerful in terms of account optimization beyond the fundamentals of setting your conversions, conversion value, setting up attribution, linking all your other Google platforms and data sources is working properly with the reach keyword planner, right? Um, if you're running YouTube ads, you really need to figure out first what is the potential, how much views, how much reach, how much frequency can I get amongst these particular audiences. If I cover like 10, 20 big YouTube channels and run my ads there, will the right people see them in terms of net worth, affluency? A lot of people kind of like set YouTube ads up in a super generalistic, broad way, even if they're running luxury ads, which is horrible. You should use the reach planner and use it to your advantage. Same with like the performance planner and keyword planner. You can create budget plans here. Most people choose to do that, in separate tools or Excel sheets for their own business to share it with their team. But yeah, when you're doing new search campaigns, use the keyword planner. See if some destinations, packages, properties that you have in your portfolio have particular unique keywords, long tail keywords that are associated with them. This will help you also drive cheaper, more relevant, more qualified clicks to your business, right? Another thing that in luxury search ads or Google ads is often ignored is, having proper assets. What that means is the asset library will be empty here. I think we never uploaded. Oh, we have some assets here, that we used a little bit. But some businesses that run display campaigns, be it for remarketing or they're running maybe some YouTube format like YouTube Action, where you have like some display static images and some videos assets combined. You need to be careful that you are using multiple different creative formats, not just statics like here, like we have here, but maybe animated HTML5 ads if your account is allowed to do so. Google has a size requirement and volume requirement in terms of ad spend each month to use animated HTML5 ads. And if you have a variety of creatives in your account, it will help you reach more relevant customers and drive conversions at touch points all across the digital buyer's journey, right? And the ad creatives obviously need to look like they fit your theme, your luxury travel specialization, your property. It shouldn't just be a simple selection of like a wide angle shot of the hotel or a really like a shot of a lake or a river from the destinations that you sell. Try to use some creativity, right? Work with an agency partner like Jade Wolf or with your in-house designers to come up with some creative things you can run. Last but not least, in terms of the Google Ads suite for like simple hacks and optimizations, is your data sources, right? You can obviously connect a lot of different data sources, Google Analytics, YouTube, any kind of integrations with Zapier and other things that you can do. And you can then build segments on top of that. Those segments are usually used mostly in remarketing. That can be your customer list, that can be your email list, that can be all kinds of things. As you can see here, the audiences are pretty small because, we haven't used that account in a long time. And yeah, but lots of people neglect to use that aspect of their business, their CRM, their email list, their customer list, right? Maybe if you don't have that data, you can make an effort to compile that data. In certain countries, geographies, you can acquire the emails and contact info of wealthy people for a certain fee. those might not be opt-in, which is you have to clear that for your local jurisdiction with your legal privacy counsel. But like if you are allowed to do that, you can compile that and then upload that to Google Ads and retarget these people. And with the right kind of like message, they might even respond. So that's basically just a couple things. Just to sum it up again, I talked about using exact geolocation, using in-market and affinity audiences and exclusions for demographics, inclusions and exclusions, making sure that you regularly check your search terms and update your negatives and your positives. Make sure that you're using the reach keyword planner at least when you're running large-scale brand campaigns on YouTube, or you're trying to come up with specialized search campaigns for specific luxury services and products that you have. And then make sure you have like a variety of ad creatives and assets in your library, be it statics, animated HTML5 fonts, video assets for YouTube that are like designed with some strategy and tactics in mind and luxury psychology. And then make sure that in your audience manager you have the basic remarketing segment set up. You have your data sources connected, everything that you can pull data from in your business to advertise on top of that data. And that you also, just use customer information and data that you have. And even if you don't have it, there's ways to acquire it and compile it. If you don't know how, reach out to us, jadewolfmarketing.com. So now that we're done with the Google Ads suite, we can kind of go a little bit into Facebook. And for Facebook, this is also one of the older accounts that we use. In Facebook, the magic is in similar ways in a lot of the aspects that I described earlier for Google. You will usually want to create a custom audience, which is based on sources on Meta, right? Previous activities that you had on Meta, on Instagram or Facebook, right? That relates to social media and engagement, usually, or previous campaigns that you ran. You can build out audiences based on app activity or a catalog, but that's mostly for e-com brands. But it will, but most of the times it will be based on your website, right? And the website audiences obviously, consist of the data that comes in for your Meta pixel that's set up on your website. So it can be website visitors of specific, parts of your website, customers, people who converted on specific service and products if you're a larger business. So that's usually where you should start building audiences for your campaigns. Then obviously, before I go into the saved audience, lookalike audiences. If you have already well-performing audiences in your campaigns, you can kind of build lookalikes on those. They have lost a little bit of their strength in the last 1 or 2 years. Because lookalike audiences are always only as good as the algorithm in the back end that analyzes your existing audiences for your existing campaigns and builds clones on top of that. And sometimes these clones are less of a fit or more of a fit to the audience that you already have. So let me click you a little bit through how I would create a Facebook audiences. Obviously, you want to have people who are living in this location, exact geo-targeting. Let's say Beverly Hills, right? Beverly Hills, California in the States. So you see, all right, Beverly Hills, I'm using geo-targeting. It's a 6.9 million audience, right? A lot of people available, but I have to narrow that down a little bit. I want to exclude again younger demographics because I just feel that these people, and very old demographics, but a lot of these people might not be traveling as much. Then I want to keep it gender neutral, of course, and then select English. It's already going down the audience size, as you can see. Then I want to start with my detailed targeting, right? And often I will obviously in this moment include audiences that I have that might be remarketing audiences, lookalike audiences based on different data sources, based on the pixel or your engagement on your social media channels. If you need help with coming up with some ideas on how to build these custom audiences for remarketing, reach out to us. There's a lot of different ways depending on the size and complexity and scale of your business how you can do it. Um, but then I would start usually, let's assume I'm trying to sell a generic luxury travel service that advisor service that is like 20K per person. So I would start probably with luxury travel, right? And immediately multiple types of interests come up. You can see there's interests, there's behaviors. That's usually the two kind of like categories that you have. And you can see the size in general of what that segment in the Facebook data suite looks like. But I will want to differentiate between B2B, B2C interests and behaviors. That's important. You don't want to collect luxury travel advisor if running B2C ads potentially, or maybe it would work. You would have to test it out. And maybe a luxury travel blog, that depends like what that blog is like. So you always need to look a little bit what these things look like. So I would probably start with luxury travel and then pick some of the relevant ones. Luxury escapes, right? And maybe some generic luxury goods retail. These other like types, retail, vehicles, resorts, yachting, can be interesting. Resorts, for example, or luxury hotels can be very interesting if this was a hospitality ad. World Luxury Hotel Awards, small luxury hotels of the world, right? You can retarget sometimes big Facebook pages that exist already. But since this is a travel use case, I would probably go with like luxury lifestyle content, and potentially here destination luxury, luxury brands directory. Yeah, I would probably go for more travel related ones in the beginning. Maybe add here luxury. Yeah, let's keep it like this. Let's keep it relatively specific. Luxury, escape travel, luxury travel, right? Then I will start obviously narrowing the audiences. Now I thinking, okay, I want people who really travel a lot. So let's look at some behaviors. Oh, frequent travelers. That's fantastic, Now we're already down to 120K from the like 4 or 5 million, right? So I could start running an ad now and be like happy with it. In an ideal scenario for a client, I would try to talk about positioning and hey, what destinations are you good with, good at delivering value or a luxury experience? Is it maybe a certain country? Is it a certain type of travel? And then try to work that with the narrowing and a feature into that stuff. But some things I would always do is add some behaviors like top income, household income. Yeah, exactly. Top 5% of zip codes. And as you can see, now we're like having it isolated to the particular area of Beverly Hills that, according to Meta, has like the top income, the right age bracket, language, general interest in luxury travel. They have a frequent behavior travel, and they have a top household income. Now that you see, I quickly built like within like 5 minutes a luxury travel marketing audience that we could use, save now, and then use in campaigns, run ads on that, brand marketing ads, video ads, traffic ads, conversion ads, and eventually build maybe even like a retargeting ads based on the traffic that we're getting here, right? But normally, I would narrow that down much further based on what it is. Is this a safari? Is it like a certain country? Is it a family trip? Is it adventure travel? And this is just the beginning. Like we at Jade Wolf also build audience profiles like that constantly on things like, for example, fine dining lovers, right? We want to also have people who read fine dining. Maybe the travel services are very food heavy. We want to have foodies, right? We want to have people that also are like basically foodies, food and drink, right? Yeah, and we still have 8K. See, I could like now target in Beverly Hills, Malibu, people who are into fine dining, luxury travel experiences, and show them ads maybe for a vineyard, like luxury vineyard trip or something like that. That makes sense. And you need to look at magazines like about fine dining, about all kinds of different luxury activities, cigars, whiskeys, jewelry, fashion, cars, collectibles, antiques, fine art, And like you also should know basically what the magazines, the most popular magazines are, or big Facebook pages, accounts that exist based on these topics on the platform, because then you can put together really smart, really intelligent, Facebook ad targeting profiles for that purpose, right? So to sum it up again on the meta ad suite, some quick hacks that you can do is make sure that you create custom audiences based on your website visitors, some data sources on your Facebook pixels. You maybe want to create lookalike audiences. You maybe want to upload your customer data, your email list, your CRM data. You want to leverage maybe data from previous Facebook ad campaigns that you ran. When you're creating an cold audience from scratch, you want to be very exact with the geo-targeting. You want to target affluent neighborhoods. You want to be specific with your age. You want to be then using narrowing features, interests, and behaviors based, go from general to specific, incorporate like as much specific targeting as you can, and then ideally run full funnel campaigns based on these targeting sets, meaning brand, video ads, traffic ads, carousel ads, and then maybe also conversion ads later once you have enough, reach, frequency, big enough remarketing audiences in your ad suite, right? I hope you found that little video interesting. It's a bit more technical. I know like a bunch of other agencies are probably going to watch this and be super happy. Hey, thank you, David, for giving us like advice on how to target for clients better. Like, you welcome, guys. Same as with in-house teams. If you can use this to make more money in your business, that makes us happy too. But if you need help with like building these audiences, looking at your Meta account, looking at your Google Ad suite, the things I just mentioned are just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much depth and brains that needs to go into staying up to date with these platforms, with their data, with the features that are available, how you can do intelligent targeting, and then obviously the whole component that I didn't talk about today of design and messaging, which is really important because the best targeting and the best setting up the best features in your ad accounts won't help you if you have bad ad creative, bad messaging, your luxury brand presentation online is incongruent. So yeah, go to jadewolfmarketing.com. We are an agency that specializes in digital marketing funnels for luxury travel and hospitality. We help people optimize their Google Ad suite and Meta ads campaigns all the time. We build funnels that use these channels to drive affluent leads and direct bookings. And we can do the same for you if you're interested in it, right? Go to jadewolfmarketing.com, book a call if you're interested. Thank you so much for listening to me and watching this video. And stay tuned for more content.